that hope is like faith holding out a hand in the dark. It's like, I read a quote one time by Robert Ingersoll that really kind of captured me, and it said that hope is the only bee that makes honey without flowers. Now, is that like a God is so crazy cool like concept? Because we know in our thought process, for a bee to make honey, it has to have a flower. But with God, nothing is impossible. And though we can't conceive of a bee making honey without flower, God can do anything. And so
that's crazy cool.
That's crazy cool. And when you think, things without Jesus, it's like we're facing, an hopeless end. But when you add Jesus to that little sprinkle of Jesus, then we have hope, endless hope. You go from hopeless end to endless hope when you just sprinkle a little Jesus on your circumstance or your situation.
So with that positive frame of mind, you're going to be, you, Lady Tanya Odom, and Pastor Danya Lindsay are going to be addressing a part of this making the impossible possible, which has a very tangible platform.
Right.
You all are going to be presenting an area which causes hopelessness in so many areas.
Absolutely.
Let me get on with finance.
Mm-hmm.
The literacy, the understanding, the educating about our finances. So why do you believe God placed you as a possibility messenger in that area for this weekend?
Well, for me, Bonafide, my company, which, Bonafide stands for genuine and sincere and honest intent, and God is all over that, and that's truly my passion. And I think that passion really, which is fueled, this is the purpose that He has called upon my life, is to educate His people. And I have a special place in my heart for educating women as it relates to their finances. And so He's just orchestrated, this whole opportunity for me to do just that. And, my calling or my purpose during this session is I am what I refer to as an MSI. I'm going to be the MSI for that segment of the program. And, people, when I say MSI, people are like, what is that? Because they CSI and FBI and all those other acronyms. But the MSI, I'm going to be the mind shift initiator. Because all of these things, really, it starts with our mindset. We've got to change our mindset to change our circumstances. And so, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to guide the participants on this journey of self-discovery of their inner strength that, that they think that they don't have, but it's right there. And with that inner strength, all the things that are going to come from that realization, that's my mission for my segment on the program, is to really just guide the people to be that beacon of light, to help them take that first step.
Well, Pamela, how do you begin the conversation, and is it sometimes uncomfortable to begin that conversation? Because we must have this conversation in order to leave legacy and, leave an inheritance for our children and our grandchildren. But is that conversation sometimes uncomfortable?
It's always uncomfortable. It's a tough conversation, particularly in, a group setting. And that's why I kind of try to initiate and just make statements based on previous things that have come up, because no one is going to want to raise their hand and share their personal story in a group. It's very uncomfortable because the first thing, when you're talking about the negativity, the impossible, when you start talking about finances, and if they have some opportunities, as I like to refer to them, in their financial circumstance, the first thing is to turn it on self. Oh, I made such bad decisions. Oh, I'm such a bad person. If I could have, should have, and all those kind of negative things. And all of that's true. And I always tell my clients that the only purpose in revisiting the past, i.e. what got you into your circumstance, is to learn the lesson. And once you learn the lesson, you have to let it go and move forward. Because if you waller in the coulda, shoulda, woulda, and if I made this different decision 5 years ago, 10 years ago, yesterday, you're not moving forward. You can't drive a car successfully looking in the rearview mirror. That's an accident waiting to happen. So you look in the rearview mirror to assess the situation, and then you look forward. Once you've done that assessment, you look forward and move forward. And so, that's our goal, but it's always a difficult conversation to have, but a must have if you want to move forward. And God wants nothing but the best for his children. And in our world, finances is a big part of getting us to our best. So we're going to have the conversation.
This morning we're listening to Pamela McCoy, CEO of Bonafide Credit Consultants, LLC. She is one of the financial literacy facilitators, presenters, possibility messengers at Women of Power 2016. We're going to hear a little bit more from her. You definitely want to be in that lady leader breakfast. It leads right into Pamela McCoy. I'm telling you, functional, operational tools for each of us. Pamela, I heard you say something just a moment ago, and I really stuck a pin in it. You said when we have these challenges, but you used the word opportunity in our financial situation. And I really like that because I don't know, a lot of people look at it as an opportunity because it really is an opportunity to do something different. Would you agree?
I absolutely agree 100%. And that's why I always want things to be positive. There's enough negativity around us. I'm not here to accentuate. And so it's just an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to do something different, an opportunity to change our mindset, to go from, living for today to planning for the future. And one of the pillars of my company, of course, is generational transfer. And so we'll talk a little bit about that at the conference as well. But that's speaking to what you mentioned, legacy. And what do you want your legacy to be? And it's not only financial. We have legacy in every aspect of our life in terms of what are we pouring into our children, our grandchildren, the next generation.
So what is God placed in your heart to share with? You can't give them all of it now, but just a little. What is God placed in your heart to share with the 2016 attendees?
Well, Lady Tanya and I, we've partnered. We each have our individual companies, mine, Bonafide Credit Consultants, and hers, Encouraging Times Corporation. But we partnered and came up with a mission for this conference called Lifting Life to the Fifth Power through Literacy. And what the LIFE stands for is Leadership Initiates Financial Excellence. And of course, the fifth power are the 5 E's of my company, which is the educate, empower, evolve, enlighten, and enrich. And so everything we're going to speak to kind of ties that all together, again, to give them tools that they can immediately apply to their lives to use to fuel their individual financial potential. We're going to build on, where you are, how you got here, and how to move forward. And that, of course, will entail self-esteem, the self-worth, the self-leadership, the positive self-talk, and ultimately, of course, shifting their mindset. So we're really, really excited about being able to impart this information to the participants.
So, we've been following the prayer calendar, and we've been praying daily for yourself and all our attendees and presenters and messengers. What has been your prayer that you desire to see manifested during the Women of Power weekend?
I would say indisputable self. And, I would put self in all caps just to emphasize. And that self is self-esteem, our self-worth, our self-leadership, our self-sufficiency, our self-positive talk. All of those things about self that are going to empower us to be the best us that we can be.
Wow. Do you think that this will, do you know that God is going to answer? I had to change that myself. Do you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that God can manifest that?
Oh, absolutely. Luke 1:37 says, "For with God, nothing shall be impossible." He didn't say some things, let me think about it, this over here, maybe that over there. It says, "For with God, nothing shall be impossible." And so knowing that, I know that all things are possible. And I know that prayer changes things. I know that prayers are answered. That's not what I heard. That's what I know. Speaking from my own personal experience of some things that he's done in my life, even so much so as being the author of my very first book, which will be available at this conference. So is not God so crazy cool?
I wanted to make sure we got that in. Please tell us a little bit about it.
The title of my book is Bonafide Bits, and the subtitle is Where Inspiration and Intellect Collide with Your Finances. And so it's going to have some nuggets of inspiration. It's going to have some life application of that inspiration, as well as the financial application of that very same inspiration. And of course, my next book, which I've already started on, is going to be more focused on the financial piece and giving tools or what have you as it relates to that. But this book is going to be, again, inspirational, intellectual, and financial all rolled up into one.
So when we find, when God places something in your spirit, as He has yours, not only with your company, but with your writing, your numerous speaking engagements, and how do you know when it's right? And the reason I ask you that, so I'm listening to you, and the passion that's coming from your voice, the passion that's coming, it's like you know that it's what you're supposed to be doing. And we have so many out there that, Pamela, have such great gifts and visions and talents, but they've allowed the world to make it seem impossible when it really is possible. How do you share with someone how to really fuel those talents?
It really is, and I know it's kind of a coined phrase that people say often, but it really is a step of faith, because you don't know, because it's something that you've never done before. It is an unknown. And so you're stepping out there saying, you know what, God, I believe that you have put this in me. And I truly believe that this is my purpose. And because it's my purpose, it's like every fiber in my being fuels that purpose, which, generates that passion. When I'm doing what he has called me to do, it's not work. I could be up all night long doing other things, but when I'm on and in the zone doing his work, the energy just comes from him, from somewhere, from nowhere. It's there. It just shows up. And that, really just reiterates to me that I am truly walking in my purpose, because when you're in your purpose, nothing or no one can stand in the way. Every door that's closed is just a fuel, because if you look around the corner, there's a window with a crack in it. He did that. So you just have to be open to and let the no's and the door closing and all of that, you can't let that deter you from your dream that he's put in you. You're the only you that can be you and do you. And though there might be other people doing what you do, no one's going to do it like you, because you're very unique and he created us to be that way. So,
wow. I tell you, we have been so blessed. I know our listeners have been as well. Please give them your contact information. Just share with them your contact information.
To contact Bonafide Credit Consultants, it's www, and the Bonafide is BONA, the number 5, D as in David, C as in cat, C as in cat.com. My email address is the same, bonafidecc@aol.com. And the phone number, which I'll give to you, but it's also listed on the website, 813-495-8568. Love the opportunity to come into your organization, large or small, to be able to impart the financial literacy that's going to move us as an individual, as a family, as a community, as a country, move us all forward into the light where he would like us to be.
got about 2 minutes. Speak to someone who you believe should attend and why, and just share your heart with them and what you believe God is going to do for them.
I think every woman that desires to be educated, empowered, evolved, enlightened, enriched in all areas of their life, financial, spiritual, intellectual, personal, professional, all of those things,